Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is Cambridge Biology 5090 and today we will study about lecture number 7. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 19, Effects of Human Activity on Ecosystem. By the end of this video, you should be able to describe the effects of humans on the ecosystem like tropical rainforest, oceans and important rivers, and then you should be able to evaluate the effects of water pollution and air pollution, and then you should be able to describe the consequences of deforestation in terms of its effects on the soil stability, climate and local human population. Dear students, I am sure you are excited about today's lecture. Now let's first see the different layers in the rainforest. There is the shrub layer, the under canopies, the canopy layer and the emergent plants. Students, rainforests are not only rich in biodiversity of plants, but they are rich in biodiversity of animals as well. Sit with me to understand the effects of deforestation on the ecosystem. Dear students, the clearing of forests is known as deforestation. Sections of the rainforests are disappearing every day and we call it as deforestation. Now the cutting down of trees to produce the charcoal and clearing land for unsustainable agriculture is also known as deforestation. Dear students, very sadly, I would like to tell you that a part of the rainforest, the size of the New Jersey, is cut down each day on our dear mother planet Earth. Now, why the forests are cleared? Forests are cleared to meet the increasing demands for not only land and materials such as wood, but also for the road development, to allow access for mining and other development, urbanization, that is the expansion of the cities. Students, logging down causes loss of biodiversity of both animals and plants, species extinction, flooding, and reduces the ability of trees to absorb carbon emissions. In countries like Indonesia and Malaysia, palm oil production has diminished the local orangutan population by as much as 50%. These orangutans, they are large, very intelligent apes and used in scientific research. Similarly, mining, it also causes deforestation, pollution and encroachment on indigenous lands. Vegetation is cleared and the quality of the local food and water supply is damaged. Approximately 17% of the Amazon rainforest has been lost in the last 50 years, mostly due to the forest conversion for cattle ranching. Now you see that these Amazon rainforests, they provide us with a large number of medicinal plants as well and animals as well, from which we are getting many benefits. Students, it should be very clear that loss of species means that there is a loss of biodiversity. In every 20 minutes, the world adds 3,500 human lives and loses one or more species. We should remember that all the human beings living on the planet Earth, they belong to only one species. 20% of the world species could be gone in 30 years if we will continue our practice of deforestation. 80% of the decline in biological diversity is caused by habitat destruction. Since the trees and other areas, they are being cleared out, so habitat of different animals and plants, they are being destroyed, and as a result biodiversity is decreasing. Now remember that 1 out of 4 amphibians, 1 out of 4 birds and 1 out of 4 conifer plants and mammals and 6 out of 7 marine turtles, they are threatened by extinction. Dear students, we need to remember that what important work these forests are doing. The first and the main important thing is that the plants or the forests, they balance the level of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the air. They also clean the environment and by reducing different type of pollutions. Now you see that when we cut down forests, it reduces the water quality because there is increased run of water. As there is increased run of water, so there is increased silt in the water, and the fish and other animals, they may die. With this increasing run of water, there is increasing erosion as the trees die and the soil becomes less stable. As a result, the trees, they die off. When the trees die off, obviously plant populations will decline. Okay, since there will be less water in the soil, so there will be decreased fruiting of the trees. So this will reduce the biodiversity of animals as well, because animals will move to another place in search of food and shelter. Students, as fish is a source of white meat, proteins, vitamins, so all of us like to eat it as food. As the human population increases, so does the demand for fish. Some species of fish have been caught in such large numbers that their populations have drastically decreased. We say that these species are overfished. Also, in the modern fishing gear, which is used in the commercial fishing, it catches marine life indiscriminately. That is, it does not distinguish between the targeted fish and the immature organisms or the unwanted species. So if the fishing practices are not controlled, some species of fish will be caught faster than they are replaced. Young fish that are caught will not have a chance to grow and reproduce, hence fish populations will decrease. Also, other marine organisms that are unintentionally caught often die. Eventually, some species may become endangered or they may even extinct. Dear students, we need to remember that not only deforestation and the burning of the wood, but also by the combustion of fossil fuel, the greenhouse gases are being emitted. Also, when the oil and petrol engines, they are being used in the automobiles, the use of chlorofluorocarbons, these all are producing greenhouse gases. These greenhouse gases, they make a layer around the atmosphere of the earth, and they do not allow some of the sun rays to enter inside the earth. Similarly, they also do not allow other heat waves and other radiations to pass out, so they are absorbed by the greenhouse. In this way, the temperature of the earth is increasing day by day, and we call it as global warming. So it is also added, this global warming is added due to air pollution as well. Since the earth's temperature is increasing due to global warming, as a result the sea level is also increasing. There is melting of glaciers and the ice caps, and there are more floods in different parts of the world. Also, this global warming is causing heat waves in different times and in different parts of the world. What is pollution? Any change or changes in the environment which results in its harmful effect is called pollution of the environment. The agents which cause the pollution is called the pollutant. There are different types of pollution: air pollution, land pollution, noise pollution, water pollution, and light pollution. But only air pollution and water pollution are in our syllabus. So let's see what is air pollution. Chemicals that are released into the air through harmful gases, burning of the fuels and other byproducts of human life like insecticides, pesticides, etc. They cause air pollution. Air pollution affects human breathing and cause many serious diseases in humans, animals and plants. Similarly, the toxins from the human and industrial waste are introduced into our water supplies and causes water pollution. Since can be a medium for many pathogens which can cause diseases in human beings, so while that water is consumed by animals and other human beings, it causes diseases. Students, you know that water is universal solvent. Because of this reason, different chemical reactions take place in all the living organisms. So that is why uh, the different pollutants, they are also dissolved in water very easily. These water pollutants, they may be either direct source of water pollutant or they may be indirect source of water pollutant. Like effluents outfalls from the refineries, factories and waste treatment plants is a direct source of water pollutant, whereas the contaminants that enter the water supply from the groundwater and soil systems and from the atmosphere via rainwater is the indirect source of water pollutant. Dear students, with the increasing human population, we need to grow more foods. So as a result, more fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides and herbicides are used on the crops so that we can have a large amount of food material. So these agriculture runoffs of either the pesticides or the insecticides or the herbicides, they are carried by the rainwater into the streams, rivers and lakes. In higher concentration, they poison the fish or animals that drink the polluted water or feed the contaminated fish. Similarly, since these chemicals, they are normally insoluble in water, so they are not excreted by the animals. Instead, they get stored in the fatty tissues of the animals. So in this way, it accumulates in the body of consumers. This results in the insecticide being passed along the food chains, increasing in the concentration in the bodies of organisms along the trophic level. Similarly, if that runoff fluid from the agriculture waste or from the household materials is not all once used by the fish, then at that time eutrophication takes place. At the same time, the gases which are produced by the factories, their chimneys, by the automobiles, and they are using, since most factories they are using heavy elements like mercury, arsenic, so these chemicals, they also enter into the water, and the gases which they are being produced, they have carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide and other greenhouse gases like methane, and they contribute to global warming. Now let's study eutrophication process in detail. The fertilizers that are being used on the crops, that fertilizers which are not absorbed, they enter into the nearby river or lake through runoff water. At the same time, the fertilizers which were not absorbed but they have percolated down into the earth by the process of leaching, they have also entered through the water table into the nearby river and lake. When those nutrient rich fertilizers enter into the water, the alga and the floating plants, they grow and multiply profusely. As a result, the sunlight is blocked for the the submerged plants and alga, which causes them to die. When they will be decomposed by bacteria, bacteria will utilize all the oxygen which is present in the water, and with that decomposition and the utilization of oxygen, fish will suffocate with the lack of oxygen and it will die. As a result, the submerged alga, that will also die. So in this way, a nutrient rich process ends. Dear students, complete the following assignment. Collect at least 2 newspaper articles regarding deforestation, scarcity of fish supplies and global warming. Make a chart showing process of eutrophication, global warming and production of acid rain. Students, take good care of your health. Exercise regularly. Allah Hafiz. Stay home. Stay safe.